Hello, welcome in today. Have you felt a shift? Have you experienced something that you have had a new truth revealed to you, that you're feeling in an energy of rebirth, that there's a new beginning, a new chapter, but you may not necessarily know what's next, what's unfolding, but you've already made a choice between two different worlds, between two versions of you, between two ways forward somehow, when there are so many possibilities. But there's something in you that knows you've changed so much, that you've been through so much, that you've alchemized so much, that you have anchored in greater trust in your body. You're feeling greater trust. You're feeling more of a warrior spirit. You're feeling safety and a knowing, and you trust in yourself and you trust in the universe even more to a new level. That it literally does not matter what happens in the unfolding because you have a greater trust in your own body and that makes you powerful. Anyway, are you feeling that? So, just to interject there now to say, I didn't come on the last couple of days because I was running a course over the weekend. And if you're aware, you'll know that we had this power outrage in Spain, parts of in Portugal, and parts of France as well, apparently, which I wasn't quite aware of. Yesterday. So absolutely no power. There was no way of using devices or anything. But interestingly, it's almost as if my soul already knew, and was guiding me in a certain way. And I believe that I was led in a certain direction to already be in the energy of the spontaneity and the flexibility and being in trust in your body and having this message to deliver to you today, which I was so excited coming back last night, and to come on and share. But it was only in the evening that I actually discovered that we had the power. But let me take you into the story because it may resonate with where you are right now and what you may be experiencing in your body or what you feel is coming up. Because I truly believe that your life is your message. What's happening and what's unfolding in the mirror is always teaching you. It's always giving you something. I did meet somebody once where I said, "Oh my God, wow, it's incredible the synchronicity." And she said that these happen from time to time and can be occasional, can be magical moments, but she didn't believe that was happening in every now moment, to which I just smiled and said nothing, because I truly believe that the magic is in every now moment. That synchronicities, that signs, that messages, that communication, that opportunities, that magic and wonder and awe and play and adventure are here in every single now moment. And you can choose to see the magic of every now moment and to see how it's all unfolding in your favor. It's all happening for you. It's so many messages coming through. I was intending to come on Sunday to do a reading of energies that were coming through under the new moon again. More energies coming through, and the energy of you being a seer, of you being the seer in your family. I'm also getting in how you could see through things that other people could not, and see through more illusions and see through the veil, and perhaps have felt throughout your life that you've been widely misunderstood in your abilities and in your vision and in your knowing of things, and how you're at a new level of really not caring and you're seeing even more now, and you're seeing through even more illusion, and you're starting to make it humorous and light. You're starting to see the fun of it. You're starting to see things as more of a great cosmic joke that you can be light about, and have unlocked a new level of magic within you. Ooh, ooh, strong message of that. So, cards that were here that I intended to share yesterday that I'd like to just recap and go through, and then I'm going to take you through the story of what happened on my detour yesterday, which I believe was all divine and for storytelling that may support you on your journey right now. Take it as it resonates for what may be coming up for you in the decisions that you are making. And the decision was the final card here. So that's like really tying in and feels quite channeled. So the seer, you being the seer, and to see beyond your current situation and to see how you've always had this ability to know things that perhaps others didn't, or could see things that perhaps others couldn't. And therefore, that trust is being cultivated and becoming even stronger within you. And that you can see beyond your now reality as also having illusion there and coming back into the energy of love and being in love in your body and in being giving love to the situation and integrating. A huge image that I was getting yesterday while walking was how everyone that has ever crossed your path, I need to take a drink here, excuse me. It's a good day. How everyone you has ever crossed your path or been in your reality is essentially like you pushed out, has been another version of you, has been a teacher or a guide, and how you're integrating more of your shadow now, and that you've come more into completion, into wholeness, and anchoring in that fullness and totality and abundance and trust in your body through that integration. But I was getting an image of all of these energies like merging into your body in creating this kind of sphere of completion, this light of all of these ends, all kind of merging into you. It's almost like lost parts of yourself or soul fragments of you coming back and merging into your body and encasing you and bringing you into wholeness and completion, and you understanding that everything has been an act of love, that everything has been an invitation for you to see where you have not been loving yourself, where you can love yourself more, giving you that opportunity, and where you can give more compassion and love to others. So you can essentially be the antidote to what you don't prefer, and therefore you alchemize it, and you are and emit greater love from you. And how some of you may be about to meet a new partner or new energies coming into your reality, which are going to be more the mirror and the reflection of that deeper, alchemized, transformed love within you, which is so beautiful. Rooted in that higher level trust, the trust within you of, I'm good either way, and what happens is divinely perfect for me, and it's all an act of love. So therefore, that's a whole new level of magic and alchemy within you, and how you are seeing that now. It's amazing. We also have been asked recently, and it may still resonate for you now, to get very clear on what's not aligning in your life, what's not in resonance with you, what is no longer working for you, what is actually draining your energy, what is dimming your light, what is not allowing you to truly shine, what's not allowing you to truly feel that loving feeling within you, if you're in the righteous credit. Okay, to come back into that love within you and to hold that frequency, to emit and radiate that frequency, knowing that as you are on that vibe, you're creating more magic for you. You're amplifying the magic, you're seeing the magic, you're feeling the magic, you're trusting in the magic. And that alignment takes you forward. You have been asked to hold space for your change in incubating this new version of you. I was seeing caterpillars yesterday and getting the analogy of how you've gone from the butterfly of your last chapter back into the caterpillar phase, and to see the beauty of that as a new you has been reborn. This is your rebirth. Angel card of the beginnings was coming out. I'll read that for you. Life is a series of cycles, and a time of rebirth is indicated for you. This may mean a new phase in a relationship. So it could be coming together with the previous person in a deeper way that's rooted in greater trust and love. And there's a renewal and a rebirth. Take that as it resonates for you, if that's that you're identifying with that, or it could be a completely new relationship. But I feel the big unlock has been a completely new relationship with yourself and with source to a higher level, which is what you should be most excited about. Okay, this may mean a new phase of a relationship, the germination of a fresh idea, or the development of qualities in you like laughter, light, and hope. It may herald a complete, total change. And you know, as the seer, from having seen into the unknown and followed steps into the unknown previously, that you're now going more boldly into more of the unknown in a new beginning, and in knowing that this may perhaps be a total change, but how it's serving you, that it's an act of love. Like if you come back to 5 years ago, 2020, and you remember the pandemic and whatever you may have gone through, and just in retrospect, see your progress and see your learning and see your evolution and see how much you have changed from that time, and how you have gratitude for the ways that you are different now, regardless of your external circumstances, regardless of relationships or career or calling or finances or any of those things outside of you, but the gratitude for how much I'm hearing that you love yourself so much more. And that is something to honor, to see the magic of, to celebrate, to love, and to know that that makes you truly powerful moving forward. I had people here at the weekend doing a course, and they said, isn't it kind of insane how people delay and postpone taking a zoom out and making time for their inner alchemy and transformation that can truly propel them forward? And they're always coming up with excuses of, I don't have time, or I'm too busy, or this isn't the right time for me, or perhaps next year, or I'm focused on my XYZ, whatever it may be, my relationship, my partner, my career. I need to focus on my income right now, or I can't afford this right now, whatever may be coming up as resistance or excuses or reasons why you would not honor the love of yourself, of pouring into you as your own greatest investment. And your personal development is your greatest investment, because the more you cultivate that love within you, the more you contribute to the next version of you. And that is an act of love. Like getting out there and sharing the next level version of you, and not taking the time in kind of being in resistance to that and saying, well, this isn't the year for that, or I can't afford it right now, or this I can't, or whatever it is that may be coming up. You keep yourself in the same loop. You keep yourself in stagnancy and stuckness and the status quo, and you don't allow the flexibility and the spontaneity, which was a huge word that came through for me. The spontaneity of what could unfold in the now moment as the magic of now, and how that can propel me forward, and how taking 2 days to go on a transformational retreat can unlock something within me that takes me to my next frequency level. And in my frequency upgrade, I'm experiencing a whole new reality, and I propel myself forward years in life. How I could be living a whole new level of my heaven from having taken those 2 days. Or I could make excuses and stay exactly where I am in the linear thinking of, well, if I do this, then I'll get that, in the thinking state, and not being in the feeling state of, I honor my own journey and I honor my own transformation, and I create space and time for me, and I create space for my rebirth and the new next level of me, so that I experience that in my reality. It's the most loving thing that you can do for yourself. So if you've made that choice and you've been making that choice, I really honor and congratulate you and celebrate you for how that's propelling you forward into so much more abundance and joy and love and harmony and deeper alchemized authentic heart and soul connection and success and wealth, because your health is your wealth, and in pouring into your health, you're pouring into your prosperity, and your breath is your prosperity. As you breathe, you prosper. So taking the time to breathe and being in your body, embodying the frequency that you want to be experiencing, is what is creating your external reality shift, the shift within for the shift without. And this rebirth phase does require you to hold space for yourself, to be gentle and kind to yourself, to hold compassion for yourself, to be extra loving of yourself. And you see, as you pour that into you, it radiates from you, and you attract and magnetize more of that to you. That this is really the work of frequency, and honoring that and creating space for it, and not allowing the 3D societal programs to influence so much how you go about your day, but you get into alignment with what is in resonance for you and be on that frequency, and how you take action steps forward, knowing that in that, rather than do something to have it and then to be the feeling state, to be something in the energy of already having it and doing from that energy, and how you are actually creating then the receptive mode of receiving, because you're broadcasting the frequency of be, have, do, rather than do something in order to have it, to then to feel it as you have it and take action from that energy. Ooh, okay, so it says, don't be afraid to let go of the familiar, to come back into you, into your energy, and to follow this knowing. For the new cannot enter until the old and the outworn has departed. Your angel guidance is to accept the new, for it will be welcome when it arrives. Birth is a vulnerable time. The fragile life force needs to be protected and nurtured within you and given lots of extra care and love. Ask the angels to guide the new beginnings in your life safely to maturity. The affirmation says, I welcome and nurture the new in my life. I was guided also before coming on to go get the manifestation box that I have. As a tip for you, I have a box here in which I have on some slips and pieces of paper written down affirmations of what I'm declaring myself as being and having, and what I'm doing in my reality, and how I'm creating more of my heaven. So I've got some of them in here. And some manifestation experts say, hide the box, put it away, forget about it, surrender and detach. But I have it somewhere I can see it to remind me of my devotion to it. I'm not exactly in remembrance of word for word what I put down in the box, but it's to remind me to remain committed, excuse me, remain committed to mind, body, soul practices, to your trust, to your knowing, to your certainty, to your like, that's there, it's mine. And I'm still showing up in my everyday reality. Excuse me, I need to drink something again. I'm still showing up in my reality. Am I not showing up? Showing up in my reality as being the version of me who is and has these things and experiences them and shares them. And whether that's, having a fit body, if that's for you, that even maybe looking at your box can remind you, stay committed to your exercise routine, stay committed to your eating habits, your postponing instant gratification, so that you're in alignment with the long-term vision and the long-term inner fulfillment, and how you're more loving of yourself in that slow and steady wins the race, in anchoring in trust and faith and knowing and devotion as the sage, as the wise one, as the one who is in full trust and surrender, and who's in unison in a dance with the cosmos. Beautiful. Okay, and then next part here is follow the voice of your soul, which is what I was saying, and in how I'm going to lead back into sharing the story of what had happened yesterday, and how I really was feeling that and wanted to share it with you, and how that leads to you making a decision. You're being called to, or you probably have already, as I said at the beginning of this video, made a decision about who it is you want to be and how you want to be in your life. It's a huge message. How can you be in your life more rather than feeling a slave to something? Ooh, very strong message of that. Feeling tied to things, feeling that you have responsibilities, which we all do have, yet is what you are committing yourself to and devoting yourself to in alignment with the truth of the song of your soul. And how getting into simplicity and getting into nature and being with yourself and truly listening and being in silence, which is the gene key of this week. And in the message in the caption of that I had seen was, take some time to pause and zoom out and go into silence and just be quiet for a while and receive what's coming. And then there was at the end of that, this is like a quote unquote here, you'll be glad that you did. And absolutely, Richard Rudd, I had that experience yesterday. So thank you very much in following the song of your soul, in just following the nudges and following where you're being guided to and what you're being led, how you're being led to be, and what you're being led to have and to do, to be in that state and making that decision. But now is an important time for you to decide what is truly aligning for you. And if you're willing to boldly go even further into the unknown, if you're willing to surrender into being the caterpillar again that is about to go to the next level of transformation, and you completely surrender over and allow parts of yourself to die so that you can be reborn again as the new, even higher version of you that wants to emanate from you in greater trust and love. I'm loving this message. I'm just feeling so excited. So what was coming to me yesterday was, you want to be in your life more. And what's not aligning is perhaps maybe spending more time in isolation, in being on devices, spending the whole day indoors, being on tech, social media scrolling, all of these things, perhaps maybe giving yourself so much to social circles that you don't have space to hold space for yourself and for your own frequency, and that you can be affected by these other energies to create a space of silence for you so that you can be in your life in the way that you're following your soul. That it's not a repetitive pattern or what you're used to, but allowing the emergence of something new, the renewal. And the best way you can do that is to be with yourself in nature, which I was pushed into yesterday. And you know yourself better now in the unknown. You trust yourself better now in the unknown. So you can almost see the magic and the fun and the joy and the playfulness of going on these adventures and seeing the unfolding in the now, to have revelations be revealed to you, and how that just brings you back into love and gratitude. I have so much gratitude. I was coming back home yesterday just feeling grateful to be alive, honestly, because I had an intention to go on a short walk. First of all, I was walking down the street with my cat. He comes on walkies with me in the mornings, and excuse me, and taking in this video and this reel that I was planning on sharing later, and coming back and getting into my content creation and answering my emails and doing my calls and a lot of the things that I was intending to do online on devices. But I had the intention to be out in nature first, mind, body, soul, do your walk, do some walking meditation, which I love doing, like meditation just in movement and being receptive and being open and having that conversation with God, with my guides. And it not having to be, very strong message that came through yesterday, not having to necessarily wait or allow for some tragic crisis or situation, maybe as some perceived yesterday as the power cut as having been that, to happen, or to have a health issue, to end up in a near-death situation, to be in a fearful state because something has happened in your reality, to reconnect you with wonder and gratitude and your connection to God and Source, and remembering the truth of who you are. That our access, our communication with God and angels and our guides is here all the time. And we're invited to connect with that even more in every now moment, in keeping dialogue and communication open, in having a reverence for it, in seeing the sacredness of it, in being in constant gratitude and admitting that frequency. It just brings you greater love. It makes you fill up with love. It makes you so profoundly grateful. That was coming to me yesterday when I had some challenging obstacles to overcome. And was rooting in that, I was noticing in retrospect how I was different in my body. And I was so grateful for it, because the previous version of me would have in those situations been more afraid or felt stuck or felt that they couldn't do something. Whereas yesterday there were moments where I was cheering myself on and I was going at things faster in my body than a previous version of me would have been. I mean, I was climbing up some dangerous things and I was going up some steel kind of step things, pulling myself up over things with ropes, and sliding down these kind of like waterfall spaces that were slippery and dangerous, we'll say. And I was going at it with a sense of trust, of care for myself and my body. And, just to give you a little perspective here, I was completely on my own. Nobody knew where I was, where I was going. You might see that as a bit idiotic, but the whole time I was communicating with my angels and guides, and I had taken this wrong turn, not going on my 20-minute walk, and had taken this different turn and ended up on a 4 or 5 hour ride. And I had a little bottle of water that ran out, and I was in the baking heat, and I did get some sunburn on my shoulders. I was wearing this little like a sleeveless top. But it wasn't my intention to go off on that walk on a human level. And my soul me knew exactly what I was doing and what was happening. My soul was guiding me. And I was connecting to that with like, I know this is all perfect divine order and divine timing. And it was only when I had come back into the village that I discovered everything was shut and closed and that there was a power cut. And when I came home, I was confirmed like, yeah, I have no electricity. And it was like, I wouldn't have been able to work anyway. And instead of being here and discovering that and reacting to it whatever way I might have, or making other plans. It's like my soul took me on a hike anyway. And I had such an adventure and it was amazing. And I connected an awful lot with the water element. And this is flow. And at the beginning of the hike, it was like I was going against the current because I was walking where the river was moving. Um, it was flowing towards me. So I was going upstream. And this is a message of, and I know Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot. When you go upstream, like like a salmon trying to swim upstream and then it kind of flies up, that it can be like going against the forces of nature, but can make you powerful also. But then when you're going with the current and with the flow, everything is easier and makes sense and it may be more comfortable. But sometimes we do need to kind of go against things in a way that we discover things about ourselves. We discover truth. We learn more about ourselves in the resistance. And sometimes you have to be the resistance and create the resistance to create change, to create a new impact or result or effect. That, the spiritual path is not all kind of, you know, fluffy clouds and peaches and roses, and it can be hard, and you can be invited to be the warrior. This message was coming out the Joan of Arc, the inner warrior. Have you answered your deepest calling? And sometimes you're invited to go down new pathways, to go against what you have been doing previously, to go down a new path, a new route, to try a different approach, to go against the resistance that you may be feeling in you in order to step into new territory and to become the new version of you, and to see and to witness in your body what's happening in your body, what is being revealed to you. Do you see in retrospect how you have transformed? Do you see how you're handling something better than a previous version of you would have? And to congratulate yourself, to cheer yourself on. So the water element I was connected with a lot yesterday, and just feeling her energy and feeling how she's such a force, and feeling how she can invite you into space that is calm and still, that is peaceful, that you allow yourself to be moved with her, like when you're out at sea and you feel the water moving you, you can surrender over to it, and you can get the feeling when she is asserting her authority also, when she is wild, when she seems reckless, when she's telling you this is on her terms and you have to surrender to her. And you can either be, it can activate the warrior within you, in which you are attempting to remain afloat in the water, or you can see how you already have this power within you, that you have the magic within you to remain calm and rooted in trust, regardless of what's happening, whether the water is calm or rough, that you can remain rooted in trust that your angels and guides are with you, that God is with you, that all is well, and that you are safe. Rather than to fall into the energy of fear or panic and to believe that anything is going wrong, or to believe, to start to, in your mind, perpetuate negative outcomes, and to start thinking of worst case scenario, that you can pull yourself back into, this is all divinely guided. This is teaching me something. Thank you, angels and guides, for being here with me right here, right now. Thank you for showing me the way. Thank you for guiding me. And I had moments where things were coming up in me, where I was taking a certain turn. I was climbing up the side of this kind of cliffside, and then understanding that I was going to have to come back the way that I came, and feeling like I didn't know how to get down there, because it's one thing to climb up and you can see and you can hold on to things, but how do you get down when you feel you can't see and nobody's there, or you don't have a support, and you have to do these things alone, and you then shatter the illusion that you are alone and understand your angels and guides are with you. You can speak to them, you can call on them for support, which I was doing countless times yesterday. I was so grateful. I was opening up the dialogue. I was more in communion with them in nature. Please show me the way. I'd like to keep my body safe. I'm not going to do something that's potentially risky of my body, but then willing to take certain movements, knowing that I was protected in my energy and I was safe and supported, and I was able to move through obstacles and challenges, which a previous version of me would have freaked out about. There was a previous version of me would have sat there praying for help that someone would happen to walk by and get me down. And I was just yesterday like, this is not an option. I mean, come on, girl. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta move. And if you could see, I mean, if I had photos or video footage to show you places that I entered and climbed up and walked through and allowed a waterfall to carry me, like slide down back into the pool, like, and just be like, I'm giving over in trust and surrender, and I know I'm safe and protected and guided. And it was just for me incredible. And just going, how can I take this energy into my next new level? How can I take this energy in my body of embodied trust and knowing and this dialogue and this communion with the divine into my next level creation, into my next level offerings, into how I boldly show up in a new way in something else, in my work or in my relationships, or how I'm connecting with someone else, and being that new version of me in my body and the embodiment, and giving that to what it is I want to create and express and share. So that message was coming through quite strongly to share with you, in how you can observe in retrospect how you're handling things differently, how as challenges come along, you're seeing more of the magic within you. You're trusting more in your guides and in everything being an act of love. And you're also being asked to unleash the warrior within you to go boldly further into the unknown and into your rebirth as the new you, in a greater love of yourself, knowing that you are magic. You have activated more magic within you, and you're on a magical new journey. So coming back to that, if you see from 2020 how you have changed and transformed, and you're perhaps not exactly where you envisioned you would be back then, now, and perhaps not everything has fully lined up, that everything doesn't feel fully aligned with what you're wanting to create or the reality that you want to be experiencing right here, right now. Yet it is in process, it's unfolding. The more you see the magic of the now moment, the more you shift. I think the decision here is to allow yourself to shift into greater flexibility, but not only that, the spontaneity of the now, in allowing yourself to be guided, like how I was taken on that walk yesterday and just kept going. It was like, this is like a never ending riverbed. And where am I going? And how do I get back? And I was envisioning that I was going to do a full loop around, but it just kept getting longer and longer and longer. And I kept getting the understanding. It was, first of all, getting the message of you can't go back. And this message of like, you can't go back to the past. That was definitely coming through. Like, the past version of you and situations in the past are gone. So you're only ever going to come at something as a new you, as a new energy, even if old relationships resurface or old dynamics or old opportunities. It's going to be a new you because you're new in your body, you're new in your energy, and you're new in your knowing, and you're new, you have more magic. You're embodying more magic. So it's going to be a more magical experience. But then later on, I was realizing I was going to have to come back the way that I had come. And the whole way back, I was so grateful. Because I was so grateful because I had surmounted those challenges, and I was excited about my content creation that I was going to do. And I was thinking about all of the people that I was happy to connect with and reach out to. And most of all, I was just so happy at how I had made it through that and how I had all of that exercise. And it was like, the more I was moving my body and the more I was in my spontaneity, the more I was feeling an energy of aliveness. The more I felt in the now, the more I felt in my life. And you're being asked to be in your life more. How can you be more in your aliveness? How can you be more in your spontaneity? How can you take risks in that way that you allow that feeling to be activated within you and to integrate and embody the next level version of you in alchemizing and releasing any fears or limitations and seeing how you truly can do everything. To be your own cheerleader, you've got this, you can do it, you're amazing. I was celebrating myself at moments yesterday. I was just saying, oh, go you, I'm so proud of you. Do you ever say that to yourself? I'm so proud of you. You did it. You can do this. Look at what you just managed to climb up. You're amazing. You're incredible. I'm so proud of you. You're doing a great job. I was just constantly in positive dialogue with myself. And I thought, this is amazing. Because the previous version of me, no. I'm not even going to go into more about that. But a message is here now of how in your spontaneity and now in greater love with yourself, you're making the choices for your future self in the now. You're deciding who you want to be, what your broadcasting is already having, and what you're doing about it. What actions you're taking to honor that version of you. How this is all unfolding in the now. Your future you is merging towards you in the now. You get to be it now. And how with the water element also, you can do water meditation through filling your glass with water and connecting with the water element and giving thanks to her as an energy, how we're mostly made up of water ourselves. And in every time you replenish yourself with more water, you can drink in that water with loving intent. You can hold your hands over the glass and set an intention for a loving affirmation you want to make for yourself, or what you're calling in, or your manifestation that you're wanting to embody the frequency of, and visualize from your hands that you're putting that frequency into the water, that you're communing with that water element and the power of how it's fluid and flows and is always abundant, always, and it's powerful. And it's powerful in calm and stillness also. And you can drink that water into your body and feel like you're activating the frequency of that manifestation into your body and give gratitude. And my hands are heating up right now into saying that. And place your hands over your heart and say thank you. And to pray with gratitude. If there's something that you're praying for, pray with gratitude of already receiving it, that you're asking and receiving are simultaneous and getting. In the energy of gratitude for asking, you instantly receive. And you are in receptive mode with gratitude. That's so beautiful. A lot of energy coming through me. That there's no real delay or lag time between the asking and receiving when you ask with gratitude and trust and love. It's in your field, it's in your awareness, and calibrating to you, to the frequency signal that you are sharing. You can also do mirror work to go speak to yourself in the mirror and speak lovingly to yourself and feel and visualize that you're igniting your inner waters and the waters of your womb space with love. And even if you identify as male, in physical form, you have an etheric womb, so you can connect into the waters of that womb space that we all have. We all come through the womb, we all come through the mother. We all have that connection to her and a resonance with the sacred womb and connecting to that space of creation and rebirth that is within us. Wow, that was quite strong and powerful. So between the timelines that you may feel that you're in right now, integrate all of you. Visualize everything, everyone that you've ever experienced integrated into you as having been an act of love. Even the people who've caused you the most pain in this lifetime or previous lifetimes, as you are aware of, have been an act of love in how they have activated something within you which returned you to yourself in greater awareness of who you want to be, how you want to be with yourself. It's all giving you opportunity. It's all giving you opportunity to alchemize, to identify and witness where you are potentially not loving of yourself and how you can make a new choice and a new decision in the now. Ooh, it's quite strong, quite potent. I'm reading the energies now and being asked to read the energies on Magic Guardian and Warrior Woman for how they may resonate with you. Drop a comment if this is resonating with you so far. I'm still on a high from my magic hike yesterday in the wilderness of kind of like, how do I get out of here? I'm so grateful to be alive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And in retrospect, I was so happy that the day was spent. I wanted to say spent, but it passed that way rather than me discovering there was a power cut and having to make a choice. There was no choice to be made because the soul had already made it for me through spontaneity, through the being in the now. And all because I had decided to put on a cap yesterday. I wore a cap because I didn't want to get sun on my head or on my face. And because of that, I'd missed a kind of turn because I wasn't really fully looking up to see, where certain cliffs or mountains or what would have been familiar to me. I was just looking straight ahead. So it was like I had a different view. I was seeing things differently from another perspective. That's taken me back to the seer card. Yeah, it's there. I don't know where it's gone now. The clairvoyant. And therefore, I was just guided another way. And sometimes shifting the perspective and seeing things differently takes you down a new avenue in a new timeline. So, Magick, stop looking outside of yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. It changes Magick is the energy of the universe that allows you to manifest and create through the direction and power of your will. It changes according to your frequency and what you're tuning into. The Magick Guardian is a representation of the angel of Magick who helps you direct your will to bring something into creation. She is the angel who swirls around shamans and wise ones when they are calling on the energy of Magick to help them manifest something that will be healing and supportive of their path. And the more it is healing and supportive of your path, the more it is healing and supportive of others' path, because the more you shine, the more you illuminate things for others. And you share that vibration, which can be felt. She is the angel of all magic that is directed for the highest good of whoever is working with it. The extended message says, you are the magic. You are the answer. You have it all within you. If you've been searching for an answer or a reason to focus, recognize that all you are looking for is already within you. I was having those experiences yesterday. Like, you don't need someone to know where you are. You don't need someone else to be here with you. You have everything. I was literally like, wow, really feeling that in my body yesterday. I'm so grateful for it. You're a powerful and magical person with the capacity to direct your intentions and will your desires into being. But your power can only be powerful when you own it. When you own it, like the water element owns her power to flow, to crash, to be still. So take time to acknowledge it. Your ability to dedicate yourself to a goal and make it happen is a real gift that you're being guided to recognize now. Celebrate yourself for all of the progress that you have made in previous endeavors and how you have actually supported through the direction of your creativity and your attention and your will, made things happen, made things come about into this reality through your vision of seeing and creating, and how you can do that all over again to a new level if you're starting anew from a rebirth. To embrace that, to embrace the journey and the adventure of the unknown, knowing that you already have everything within you. You will be guided. You can be the frequency. You can hold the frequency in your body. You can breathe. You can be in gratitude. You can open up communication with your guides as you are in process and progress to create what wants to come from you now. And not to feel defeated of like, oh no, here we go again. But to say, thank you for allowing me to be in my life. That's beautiful. And the warrior woman. You're here for a reason. The real Joan of Arc life, wielding the sword. You're here for a reason. You're being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts. And the more resistance we have towards answering a call, the more important it is to our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, I'm not afraid, I was born to do this. But the thing about courage is that it's not possible without fear. So if you are feeling afraid, what is needed is courage. And courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than think things are holding you hostage. This is like mirroring my story from yesterday. If you look at your fears in this light then, as uncomfortable as it might feel, it's actually a sign that you are on the right track because you are given the opportunity to unlock more magic within you, more trust, more faith, more knowing, more of lost soul fragments integrating back into your energy and seeing how powerful you already are in having everything that you require within you. I send you so much love in embracing this new timeline shift and allowing yourself to be completely reborn into going on further into the unknown again and allowing yourself to receive all the blessings for choosing you, because every time you choose you, you win. Every time you choose to know yourself, and you truly know yourself to new levels when you're willing to do things and go places that you haven't been before. And that's an illusion, really, because your soul always knows. It's guiding you to where you need to go, who you need to meet, what you need to experience as part of your soul's evolution. And it can feel in the human form like this is completely unknown, it's unfamiliar territory. I don't know, I can't see what's up ahead, when your soul always knows, and you can choose to see the love in that. Okay, I'll stop that message there. No, stopping that message there. No other cards, not getting a message to pull anymore. Wishing you a beautiful day. Let me know if this resonated. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and see you in the next one.